Greetings, life forms, wherever you're receiving us. This is Justin.
And Matt.
And I let Elon Musk borrow my car, and now he's not returning my phone calls. What's up with that?
Yeah, well,
my name's Landon Dunn, by the way.
First of all, you should have told me you had a Tesla Roadster.
I didn't want to brag, but yeah, it was a pretty sweet ride. I'm not gonna lie.
Now Starman, that's in the hands of Starman at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Ziggy Stardust is now the owner of that car.
Oh my God. Okay, so just jumping right into this thing because we're already talking about one of my favorite things that happened this week. By the way, this is Nerd News Cafe. This is episode 76. Welcome back. It is Thursday, February the 8th. I had to check because I never know what day it is. But yes, this week the Falcon Heavy launched, and I don't know if you guys had a chance to live stream it. Did you? Did you happen to watch it?
I did. I did not see it live, but I did see the video. They landed 2 rockets, not one, not 2. But 2, yeah.
What about
they landed them.
Didn't they land the mid core too on the boat?
Now that one I didn't see. All I saw was 2 freaking rockets come out of the sky and set down.
That was
all right,
incredible. We're cool. So anyway, so a little behind the scenes, I got to enjoy that live with my son and daughter watching it and getting to see kind of the wonder and excitement in their eyes, which was amazing. I love being able to share like my passion for space exploration and all this cool rocket stuff with the kids, and they're really into it too. So we watched it together. The reason we watched it together was because schools were out for flu, and
not nearly as fun as watching rockets.
Right. Unfortunately, it also affected my son. So he came down from his isolation up in his room to watch it with us. But and I was telling him, I said, Elon Musk did an interview prior to the launch, and he was telling people, I don't expect this thing to make it out. He fully expected it to just explode because all the testing that they could do for this rocket just wasn't going to be anything compared to what they could do on an actual launch. And he said that with the amount of thrust they were generating with 3 cores, it would have shocked him for this thing to actually be successful. And guess what? It made it. And it was really exciting to watch.
You did it. You're winning.
Yeah,
Not just one made it. Several made it. I mean, like Jay, you and I growing up, it's like we went to space camp and stuff like that. And hell yeah, it's a brag. Space camp was awesome, both in Florida and in Alabama. What's up? Yeah, be jealous of what.
The minute you said it, I was jealous. You don't need to rub it in.
We were spoiled children for sure.
I would have sold body parts to go.
Yeah, but it's like, I mean, when we went to space camp, they told us about, the Apollo missions, and it's like, okay, the fuel cell is used up. What do we do with it? We eject it, it burns up in the atmosphere, and then we go find it in the ocean. We've been able to develop rockets that can not only go into space, come back into the atmosphere, and then land.
It's amazing. Reusable.
I know we're recording video aspect. My camera isn't that good, but if you could see it, the hair on my arm is standing up just talking about it. Amazing.
And one of the things Elon Musk wanted to do, because he knew that, in order to move the space program forward, you had to reduce the cost of launches. And the way you do that is start to create reusable pieces. And so that was a huge thing here. The thing that got me super excited about the Falcon Heavy is, if you all know anything about it, this is the rocket that is supposed to carry the capsule for the astronauts that are going to Mars. So
correct.
Yeah. So it was key to get a working version of this rocket, and oh my gosh, it's so freaking exciting. If you all aren't excited about the space program, check your pulse. That's all I gotta say.
Amen. Yeah, you're listening to a podcast about nerds talking about stuff, and it generally ends up in space. Now, it's fictional space, but this is like honest to God, like above us right now space.
Yeah,
we're talking about.
This is where reality crosses with our fantasy sci-fi lives.
What we're saying is Star Wars is 2 years away from being real, guys.
Yep.
And that's not what we're saying.
Elon Musk is working on a lightsaber.
Actually, Star
Wars was just a keyword.
Star Wars was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Star Trek is what we're working towards, actually.
There you go.
I'm holding out for Firefly, which, based on the way our current political climate is going, we're like, 50-50. So
it's possibly. It's true. So I was way too excited to talk about that, but properly, welcome back to Nerd News Cafe. We are already in it. So I want to give us props right off the bat here and just say, if you happen to listen to our last episode, we gave you a prediction for the Super Bowl based on a simulation that Landon ran on the latest version of Madden, and I don't know what to say, but we nailed it.
Yeah,
Pretty
like
scary.
Like we didn't 100% nail it, but on a percentage scale, I would say we got like to 97.5 of nailing it.
Yeah. I mean,
It was creepy.
Wow, it really was. Like, it dawned on me midway through the fourth quarter. It was like, what was our score? It was, 42 to 35?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow, this is in play right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like that moment of realization was like, whoa.
Yeah.
But hell of a game.
It was a great game.
And I'm really glad that Madden proved us correct.
Yeah. Always like to be proved right. But it was a great game. It was fun to watch. It was one of those that, last year we had the Falcons jump out to a huge lead and then they just pissed it away.
Atlanta blew a 28-3 lead
and disappointed us all. But as they built that lead, you were like, oh, this is kind of going to be a boring game, and you were kind of looking forward to the commercials.
Mm-hmm.
This one was competitive throughout, so it was fun to watch. And I got to say, the commercials jumped up this year. In my opinion,
really did.
It was way better. And I know we're going to get to trailers, but I want to go around really quick and just get your opinion on your favorite commercial. Mine personally was the 2-pack, Peter Dinklage with Busta. And then Morgan Freeman with Missy Elliott. That too, for the Doritos and the Mountain Dew, I loved it. That was awesome.
But if you had to choose one or the other, who won that rap battle?
God, I think I'm going Dinklage.
You have to. Like I love Morgan Freeman, but Dinklage straight up spit hot fire.
Plus, I
no
love
pun
Busta
intended.
Rhymes. So
exactly, it's Busta, man.
Yeah. Matt, what was your favorite commercial?
I don't know. I have to be loyal to David Harbour, I think's how you say his last name, and all the not Todd.
All the not tied, those were good. Those were really good.
Yeah, you actually stole my answer. I was going to say this podcast is actually a Tide commercial. So.
Yeah, I just love that I got fooled at least once or twice. I was like, wait, okay, you got me.
Oh my God, you mentioned it. The Old Spice guy shows up.
Yes.
Like hook, line, and sinker. I will throw my hand up in the air, gladly admit they totally. It's like, oh cool, I haven't seen that guy in a while. Oh my God, it's a Tide commercial. That was so great.
Mr. Clean was pretty good too, though.
Yeah, again, they got me on that one. Like Tide really stepped their game up. It's like, I really hate that we're to the point in society where we have to tell people not to eat Tide Pods, but at least their advertisement is on point.
Exactly.
So, you know.
You know who still continues to drop the ball though is like Bud Light. Where are the great Bud Light commercials? What happened to
that whole thing with the Bud Light night? I was like, man, that is like 5 years ago. What are you doing?
Yeah, it really feels like Dilly Dilly has been played out. Like when it first happened, it's like, oh, okay, that's kind of fun and itchy, and now it's like, okay, this has been played out for like 6 weeks. And oh, by the way, their big Super Bowl commercial with them paying off, like how are they going to get out of this big battle? Yeah, that was online the Monday before the game. And it's like, I know that isn't the only commercial that was, I guess, spoiled by being posted online. But it's like you mentioned the Dinklage and Morgan Freeman commercial. That was posted online ahead of the Super Bowl as well. And it's like, I understand why you want to get out there and get, the commercial being talked about before everybody else's commercial goes, but it kind of does take away from the surprise and the oh, that was great element that we had growing up.
Absolutely.
Well, I will give them props on one thing. The attention to detail to the Quickie Mart that they went into with the bell at the door coming on and him coming out and the whole ADR they put with the Quickie Mart. I thought, well, that's nice. The sliding doors and the little buzzer and bell.
A for effort.
Yeah, A for one single element, and everything else is a fat F.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and it's like, especially when that was the payoff to the commercial, the Bud Night. Really? Like, really, guys? Okay, all right, whatever. But I mean, I'm afraid this is going to be one of those things like you're going to hear every now and then you hear,
yeah.
I really feel like in 10 years we're going to hear some random bling blong in the back of a bar scream, Dilly Dilly!
Oh, it already happens today. I mean, I'm in my office, I hear people walking around saying Dilly Dilly. And
you can't even drink a Bud Light about it.
Come on. Jeez, yeah. So I was gonna segue our favorite commercials and the spoilers that you talked about. Yeah, we're gonna segue it. By the way, my shadow. I don't know if you can see my shadow. It kind of looks like Yoda, does it not? Like
it kind of does.
Yoda
Yeah.
I cannot see your shadow.
Oh God, does that mean we have like 6 more weeks of winter?
No, I think what that means is I'm about to just spit some Jedi-like wisdom on you here.
I was going to say, you are being very wise, but some of your sentence structure's a little flip-flopped.
But we were talking about commercials getting spoiled. Here's something I didn't expect going into the Super Bowl, and it happened, I think, during the first commercial break. We got our first trailer for Solo, and I about lost my mind. Yeah.
It was nice.
When that thing hit, like, first of all, I thought it was like a spoof trailer at first. Like when it first came on, when it first came on, I was like, "What? Who is spoofing Star Wars?" And then it dawned on me. I was like, "Holy crap! It is the Solo trailer," and I got fired up about it. And no more so than when I got to see Donald Glover in full Lando with his fur coat on.
Oh my God!
I mean,
like,
come on.
I'm going to go ahead and put this out here. I have a man crush on Donald Glover. There is literally nothing on this planet he cannot do. From
life goals.
From acting to singing. I'm pretty sure he could dance if he wanted to. Yeah. He's a hilarious stand-up comic. I mean, there's literally nothing he can't do. And I'm going to go ahead and say it is no longer Solo, a Star Wars movie. It is now Lando, a Star Wars movie featuring Han Solo.
Yeah.
Solo.
I think it's interesting too if you watch, because we had that trailer and then there was another one that's a little bit longer that you can watch on YouTube now, and it's got some more dialogue in it and stuff. You get to hear a lot of Alden Ehrenreich. You get to hear Emilia Clarke. You even get to hear Woody Harrelson. He's got a line or two but you know who doesn't speak? Donald Glover. He still hasn't spoken in the trailers, and I'm like, they're just holding that back.
Hell yeah! They realize that Donald Glover is like just months away from being introduced as a cultural icon. They're like, we are not going to get any of this away for free.
Yeah.
By the way, he has dropped a rap about the Solo movie that came out this week. Have you all heard it?
I haven't heard it yet.
I have not.
It sounds like some old school Gambino stuff that would like come off of the Cul-de-sac EP, like that would come off of the Camp album. I love it. Like, awesome. It is so good. Jay, in fact, I'm going to insist that you bump us out with it at the end of this episode.
Okay.
So you know what? Producer of Mark Tape.
Don't sue us, Donald Glover. Please.
Don't sue us, please.
Please don't sue us. Actually, would we get to meet him in court if he sued us?
I bet it's representation.
Celebrity meetup opportunities.
I mean, it would probably be a costly trip for us, but
no.
Hear me out, guys. Hear me out.
Competence, but only after the first meeting.
Well, I don't think we would have to plead too hard. Have you heard this podcast?
Just let me do all the talking. We'll get out of it. Probably committed, and we can get out of that too.
Hey, I'm okay with 3 square meals a day and a cot to sleep on. I ain't afraid to go back.
Back to the prison wine.
I can't go back.
Back to the clink.
Go back to toilet hooch and cigarettes.
Toilet.
The kids still call it the clink.
The clink, yeah.
Well, the last time we were there, they did.
So there were a bunch of other trailers though that we got. Another one I was surprised to see was the new Mission Impossible trailer. Are you guys into the Mission Impossible series? Not really.
I haven't watched Rogue Nation. I watched the last one. I watched what was the one before that had Renner in it, or the first one with Renner in it, I guess.
Was that 3 or 4?
Was it Ghost Protocol?
No, 4. Yeah, Ghost Protocol 4. That one I watched. It was really good. I'm not against this one. It's Mission Impossible.
Yeah,
you get what you get out of it.
I think they're fun. To me, it's kind of like an experience like Fast and Furious. You're not watching it. It's going to be like an Oscar winner.
Yeah, that's a fair analogy, and it's like I'm kind of like Matt. I don't have anything against the series, but at the same time, like, they're none of my favorite like new movies. I did like them more when Brad Bird took over directing them. I forget which one that was, and they did, continue to go up and up in quality. But at the same time, this kind of feels like the reboot of the Bourne franchise. It's like, is this really needed at this point? I kind of feel like we've already told all the stories we can. And I mean, they tried to reboot Bourne last year with the original Bourne, and it blew up at the box office. So I just like it looked good, and I do think the Mission Impossible franchise has a whole lot more cachet than Bourne does. But at the same time, it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, I think, Justin hit it on the head, because I mean, it's Fast and Furious. You'll be entertained. You'll be like, oh man. The minute you walk out of the theater, amnesia hits. It's like, oh wait, what happened? So,
in through one ear, out the other.
Yeah, it's a momentary happiness. It's like drugs.
It's brain candy.
By the way, that's a sponsor of our podcast.
Drugs.
No,
Drugs.
Mission Impossible. Why would you say it's drugs, you junkie?
Shut up.
But you mentioned being kind of surprised by the Mission Impossible trailer. There was another trailer that kind of took me by surprise and really made me kind of pivot my original opinion on the movie, and that was the latest trailer for the new Jurassic World movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you remember when we first got the original trailer, we spoke on it on this podcast, and I was kind of like, this looks dumb. I mean, it's like, don't get me wrong, it's dinosaurs, so of course I'm going to go see it, but it's like, this looks dumb even for the Jurassic Park formula. But it's like, the trailer that we saw on Sunday really felt like it was showing a completely different movie than the teaser we got originally. It's like, I'm now more on board with this movie than I was initially.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that it piqued my interest a little more than the first one. Again, the first part of this trailer tricked me again because I had no idea what it was. Because if you remember, it's like in a little girl's bedroom, and all you see are these really big claws coming in. And I was like, is this another Krampus? What's happening?
Stranger Things Season 3 got here a lot sooner than I thought.
Yeah. So
Krampus 2.
that was kind of bizarre.
I would honestly be okay with the Krampus sequel. That was a fun, dark holiday movie.
It wasn't.
Cramping again.
You almost made Landon do a spit take.
We almost got a spit take.
Yeah.
We'd have to put a Brothers logo up.
But it does. It looks interesting. I mean, I think we said it at the time when we panned the teaser trailer that we're gonna see a Jurassic Park movie anyway. It's dinosaurs.
Yeah. It's dinosaurs, and dinosaurs rule.
Yeah. So, but it did. This one kind of made me feel like, okay, well, maybe this is gonna be pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
Another surprise. We got a little drop into the Cloverfield universe.
Oh, yeah. What a surprise, and then the even bigger surprise came immediately after the game ended on Sunday.
Yeah. Netflix dropping it in your face right now.
Yeah. Just
I mean, like, you got to give it to Netflix. You got to give it to the team that's advertised this, because I mean, it's like that's kind of the allure of the Cloverfield franchise at this point. It's like a lot of what we don't know. It lets us build to what we think it is in our mind, and it's like even like the release of this. It's like we originally heard a rumor. Yeah, the new Cloverfield movie could be coming in April, we think, and then the trailer drops on Super Bowl Sunday, coming soon. And then since we're on Twitter during the game because it's 2018 and we have to be on our phones at all time and plugged into social media, it's like, oh, by the way, it's going to be available as soon as the game is over.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what? Like tonight, as in this game we're watching right now. Like, kudos to the team at Netflix and the people that are running the Cloverfield franchise at this point.
Yeah, and none of us have watched it yet, but
no, we have not.
No, I just hadn't had the opportunity. It's on my to-do.
Mm-hmm.
Mine too. I think I'm going to try to get into it this weekend, so maybe we can give you a rundown the next time we meet.
We call that a tease.
Yeah.
And I've again, none of us have seen it, but I have read online that apparently you can sync up the last part of the Cloverfield paradox with a certain point of the original, and it explains some stuff in the original, or there's the theory, at least, that it explains some stuff in the original, like about how whatever the Cloverfield monster is gets to Earth, stuff like that. So again, it's like I really like the what could be, let's put the puzzles together aspect of the Cloverfield franchise. So I'm definitely curious to check it out.
I like the Cloverfield universe.
So did I. And it's like, I think like the further we get away from the original, the more I like the original, because it's like if you remember the like marketing and leading up to the original, it was like, what the hell is this thing?
Yeah, it was one of the first like guerrilla kind of violent.
I was going to
marketing
ask, was that
campaigns
one of
that
the
I can-
first
Yeah,
ones?
that I can
Because I know
remember,
we
yeah.
got into a whole lot of them there for a while. I mean, we were
Yeah,
deep in guerrilla filming.
it became
so-
the norm.
Yeah.
Like I would say like probably Blair Witch is the first one that comes
Yeah.
to my mind with the kind of had the guerrilla aspect both in the marketing and in the film itself. But it's like I really feel like Cloverfield really perfected that formula.
I was
And-
actually talking about the marketing campaign leading up to it, though. Like, if you remember,
Oh,
it was all,
absolutely,
like,
yeah.
weird
Oh,
and
yeah, yeah.
bizarre and kind of the way that they went about it. Like, you just didn't know anything about it.
I mean, the trailer was a decapitated Statue of Liberty, and the only footage that we saw that wasn't that big drawn back camera
Yeah.
panning the statue was the head being chucked down a street
Yeah.
in New York, and we have no idea what the hell did it.
Yep.
Like that right there, if that doesn't pique your interest, you don't have a pulse.
Well, you know, at first it now people would think it'd be a disaster movie because, you know, we had that party and then it was like a big boom and people were looking around at each other and then there was a lot of TJ Miller.
And this is before T.J. Miller was T.J. Miller.
Yeah.
Yes, this is before we love him and now we love him more. Pending allegations.
Yeah, I was going to
But,
say,
you know-
it really feels like opinions circled on him. I'm going to back away from the mic.
Pending allegations. But you know, the whole thing is just like I said, it felt like a disaster movie, and then like you said, we get the Statue of Liberty's chrome dome rolling down. It's like,
Mhm.
okay, this is not what I thought it was.
Like that wasn't there when we came in.
Did you all see 10 Cloverfield Lane? Did you watch that one?
I haven't watched that one yet.
Have not, no.
It's a totally different experience, but it's really interesting. You know, it's supposed to be kind of
They're all together
it's
somehow.
supposed to be like going right along with that same timeline that you see in Cloverfield, basically. And so, but when the movie ends, like you don't. So in this movie, you don't see the giant monster. It's just something that's happening concurrently. It's an interesting
Okay.
story though.
See, I've heard nothing but good things about it, but I was kind of curious because, again, talking again on the Cloverfield franchise and how they market it, that was kind of a surprise that Cloverfield or 10 Cloverfield Lane turned out to be a Cloverfield movie, period, because for the longest time that movie was under a different name. And I want to say it was at Comic-Con that they said, oh, by the way, the real name of this movie is 10 Cloverfield Lane, and it comes out in like 2 months.
Yeah.
So, like, that's I love that part of the Cloverfield series, but I was watching, it's like, I really don't feel like a monster's going to come busting in and take down Jeff Goodman and the rest of the crew. So it is what did I say?
You
Goodman.
said Jeff.
Yeah,
No,
John
we're gonna
Goodman.
call him Jeff Goodman. That's
Yes,
happening.
Jeff John
you
Goodman.
just
yeah.
mad at
In the books.
I just matted. Well, shut it down, guys. Good night.
Yep. Welcome to my world. He shut his camera off.
And we're back. Yeah. I'm so embarrassed. And I met Jeff Goodman on a plane too. Wow, I'm such a monster. A monster
Did you call
like
him
me.
Jeff Goodman? Because that was sort of the last time.
I was gonna say he himself was a monster in Monsters Inc.
He was, yes, there you go.
Very true.
And
Solid.
Tony Stark built this. Wait, no, different Goodman. Never mind. All Jeffs look alike to me.
So, any other trailers or commercial talk you wanted to hit on the Super Bowl?
Oh, I feel like
Toyota was really blowing it up with the Olympics and NBC too. You know what? What I want to talk about was the Sprint commercial, where it basically said AI and robots were going to be bullies.
Oh yeah, that was funny with the robots laughing at the programmer.
That was good.
Ha 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 ha. And then the captions, laughter. That
It's
was
just
so good.
instilling that fear. It's instilling that fear, man. It's why we've got to have the kill switch in all robots.
And I, for one, welcome our new robot overlords.
As soon as they start pushing us around, we flip the switch, and guess what? You are shut down. Watch your mouth. I'm the master.
Yep, we're going to reduce you to a
It's getting
toaster.
really weirdly like. I don't want to go in that direction, but that just made me think of something that I forgot to mention. So we talked about on the Falcon Heavy launch how the cargo was the Tesla Roadster and Starman. Do you know what else was on that spacecraft?
My wallet,
Pop-Tarts.
because I've been looking for it.
It might have been. But actually,
If y'all see any money you don't know is yours, send it to me. Landon Doan, P.O. Box. No.
no, it actually was Asimov's Foundation trilogy. They put that on the rocket and sent it up there.
Really?
Yeah.
Digitally?
I think it was on a hard drive. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was part of the payload.
Have you guys read those books?
No, but I know you're the Asimov guy. So.
Yeah, man, those are pretty. I wish I knew what the word esoteric meant.
But it could be
But feel free to throw it around.
That's what I feel like saying, but I got a feeling it's not what I want to say. They're really. Basically, I guess the only way to break those down is that we get to a point where we expand so far from each other that we expand into the galaxy that we lose touch with being where we're from, and we have no idea where we're from, and we become like tribes again.
Mm-hmm.
So when the central power of what owns Earth and everything kind of in a central force tries to retake these outer powers, there's a turn where those outer powers start to destroy the central power. It's really weird, and it's got pirates in it, and it's political in ways, and in other ways it's just like people being people, but it's really cool. It's a really cool series. I know you guys don't read, so audiobook it. You'll enjoy it.
Hey, watch your mouth, sir, because I did finish a book already this year.
Hey, just want to let you know, watch your butt. I'm a quarter way through that book. I will be done soon.
Hey, well, I'm just going to let y'all know I haven't read shit this year, so, in your face.
You know, I will say this, and I think Justin can attone to this. Ready Player One is probably the book I can see you reading this year.
You could do it.
It's really good. It
It's really
captures
fast.
you from the very beginning.
There's a movie coming out. Let's be honest.
No. I can tell you in this book, just in the quarter I've read, there are things they are going to leave out. I can see it happening.
Oh, definitely.
His personal life, that is definitely not going to be talked about.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, I could actually see the movie just. It's going to have to be very surface level because there's no way that they could include all of the detail. And this is true about any book, really. But there's no way, like the context that they build around the hunt, which is kind of the central theme. And
Did you call me?
I'm sure the movie Ready Player One is going to be focused on the hunt, but I don't think they're going to be able to capture like how much, I guess, went into
How horrible his life is?
Yeah.
Well, he lives in Ohio, so we already know it kinda sucks.
This is nothing. No, think of Ohio.
No, have you ever been to Ohio?
He starts out living in Kansas City.
Yeah, the Ohio he describes as a bigger stink hole. Sorry, Ohioans. That's just
Well,
truth.
we're talking
No,
about
they prefer to call themselves O-holes. I don't think that's true, but let's go.
No, but we are talking about like a post-apocalyptic type future, so we can't judge the actual Columbus on what we learn about Columbus in this book. So
I can only imagine the Buckeyes of Ohio State would be even more insufferable in the post-apocalyptic wasteland.
Well, I mean, if they were in a league that actually had other teams, it would be working. But
Hey, Jim Harbaugh is trying really hard to go 7-5 at Michigan. You guys.
Yeah, I know.
They
Look,
don't have drinkable water in that state.
He's got his turtle wax, and he's really shining that turd to a nice gleam, but it's not working out.
Jim Harbaugh looks like he cosplays in a Weezer cover band.
listen, I
Hey,
like to
he was a
consider us-
Chicago Bear.
I like to consider us a United States podcast. Let's try not to alienate like several states in one show today.
Hey, suck it, the Ohio State University. What type of institution?
You're so getting an email from
the-
Android.
the
You're so
Ohio
getting an
State-
email.
Who the hell do you think you are? The.
See,
Well, there's not going to be
thing
anyone
about-
else that claims that
By the
title.
way, the Infinity Wars trailer dropped during
Yeah,
Super Bowl Sunday.
Thank you.
It did.
There we go.
It did.
Back on track. Remember how I was trying to avoid all the Infinity Wars trailers?
Yeah, that didn't
look-
work out, did it?
Yeah, they dropped it in the biggest game of the year.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Saw my first one during Star Wars Episode 8, and then saw my second one during the Super Bowl. So I have not done a good job avoiding of Infinity Wars trailers. But
I
man,
think
they look good.
it's near impossible to avoid a movie trailer. It's just near impossible. I know people who, like, you
I
live
did
in paranoia. Well, but I'm sure the effort that took it
Oh
had
yeah,
to be insane.
I think it was Jumanji when me and the girlfriend went and saw it. They had a trailer for the Last Jedi because it dropped 2 weeks later. I was wearing a hat. I literally hat rim down above the eyes, mumbling to myself because I didn't want to hear or see it. But yeah, I did have to go to some, we'll call them dumb lengths to avoid being spoiled. But it's not impossible.
I didn't realize you went in blind to The Last Jedi.
Yes,
That's interesting.
I did not see one iota except that it was called The Last Jedi.
How can you? I was about to say, can you quickly? And I know it's a Star Wars movie, so it may be hard to do, but can you quickly give us a comparison of seeing trailers before a big movie and not seeing trailers before a big movie?
I guess if I was to compare The Last Jedi to The Force Awakens, because I was with everybody, I saw every frame they leaked of The Force Awakens because it was new Star Wars, you guys, oh my god, and it doesn't look like it's going to suck. So, of course, I wanted everything that was out there. And I enjoyed The Force Awakens, but if you remember back on our conversation podcast on The Last Jedi, I was really positive on it, and I do think me going in completely blind, I do think that helped. It's like, okay, I did know there were on a planet that had some sort of white on it. I didn't think it was ice. It turned out to be salt because they were fighting space slugs. Thanks for that one line of dialogue to explain that. But it's like I do think that did help my enjoyment in the movie. And it's like, I know it's really hard in this day and age, especially when it comes to a movie like Infinity Wars, when they drop it everywhere they know you're going to be watching, Jay. But it's like, I do think it helped my experience.
Yeah, well, I guess I could have covered my eyes and plugged my ears and stuff.
Yeah, you could have been this dumbass in the theaters acting like he's 7 years old, going la 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 la. I can't hear anything.
I don't know. I'm still on the thing that they're still giving out way too much. Even though I think with the trailers now they try to throw you off a little bit, I still think they show us way too much. Why ruin it? Why do that? I mean, people are thirsty for it. Don't get me wrong. I mean, people are chomping at the bit for anything with a lot of movies, but I don't know. I wish it was more. I wish it was harder to get a hold of that information than them just barfing it on you at every big event that everyone's watching.
So here's what I would say. If I compare the two, even seeing 2 Infinity Wars trailers, I feel like what they're showing is just quick shots of hey,
big battles.
This guy, here's this guy, here's an action sequence, not really telling you anything about the plot. You're not really getting a lot of dialogue. It's really just bam, 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 which is cool. That's fine. Compare that to the Solo trailer, and I feel like we're going in the direction of they're going to reveal a lot of what that plot's going to be. In fact, already in the teaser, you had Solo sitting down, signing up for the Academy, saying he wanted to be a pilot, and then saying he got kicked out. Oh, and I think that's really cool, though, because this is another one of those pieces of expanded universe, Solo's backstory, that got tossed out when, Kathleen Kennedy and got her group, the think tank together, and they decided what was canon and what wasn't. Everything that was expanded universe got kicked out, which meant Han Solo's unofficial backstory was tossed to the wayside. But it's really cool with the Star Wars movies that we're getting that it looks like they're kind of paying tribute to what some of the groundwork that was already laid by picking and choosing some of that stuff and incorporating it. So here in the trailer, we already see that he did sign up for the Imperial Academy to train as a pilot. Now, we don't know how far he gets, but that was part of the backstory in the Solo trilogy of books. So I think that's pretty neat. But my point was that I can get down with a trailer that's hey, remember this guy? Remember this guy? Hey, remember that Spider-Man you thought was so cool in Homecoming and Civil War? He's back. Hey, remember Captain America? You know that guy. You love that guy. He's going to be in here too. And
he also has a beard.
Here's Thor. Here's the Guardians of the Galaxy. Look at all these people, and then that's fine. That's fine. That's all you need to show me because I was going to go anyway. You don't have to tell me anything else. So,
Well, and it's like I think the Infinity Wars are handling it very well. Like you said, they're just giving you splashes of what you know is already going to be in there. That self-assurance, like, yeah, give us your money. We're going to show you all the stuff you know you want. You want Spidey, we got Spidey. You want Thor and his new eye patch, we got that too. It's like we got all your favorite toys, and they're going to be playing together. And I really like the way they handled that trailer. Where on the flip side, like, I get what you're saying about Solo, but I kind of feel like they did have to give the audience some sort of reassurance, because as of this recording, we're like 4 months away from Solo dropping, and the first anything we've seen from that movie was the teaser trailer that dropped this past Sunday. So it's like, I kind of felt like they had to reassure the audience, like, Look, this is going to be okay. We know you're reading the internet. We know you've heard everything about Lord and Miller. We know you've heard about how Ron Howard has tried to come in here. We know you've read about how the guy that we picked to play Han Solo might not be able to act. But we got your back. Because here's Donald Glover as Lando, and Chewie, and the Falcon, you guys.
Yeah. Okay, and the other side of that, though, is the more that you give, the more the audience has a chance to critique what you're giving them.
Oh, so, absolutely, 1,000%. I agree with you.
So there is a lot of Alden Ehrenreich speaking in this trailer, and the only thing I can think the whole time is, like, he sounds nothing like Harrison Ford. Now,
nor does he look anything like Harrison Ford.
I will say his mannerisms are pretty close, or at least in the couple of scenes I saw, the crap-eating grin and the way he kind of holds himself when he's talking. He's definitely tried to emulate Harrison Ford. So
at the very least, he could do that. But here's a comparison I would give you. I think Ewan McGregor did an amazing job capturing Alec Guinness as Obi-Wan Kenobi. Mm-hmm. And because that's what he
did
in
the first prequel.
I think he did it throughout. And in fact, in the third one, when he's got his hair short and it's supposed to be kind of that the next step is we're going to see him as old man Obi, I really think, like, he even says lines like that quote Alec Guinness, like when he's like, hello there, when he drops in on Grievous before he kills him and stuff like that. And it's like he was definitely going for capturing Alec Guinness as Obi-Wan Kenobi. I almost feel like they, from what I've seen, and I could be totally wrong, but here, this is exactly what I'm saying. They gave me enough to make an opinion already. It was like they didn't ask Alden Ehrenreich to try to sound like him. And they didn't really do much in the form of, like, makeup or prosthetics or anything to kind of bridge the facial differences. And so maybe mannerisms are all they could do. And they're like, yeah, at least try to, like, have that swagger and that confidence and you know, the snarkiness. I don't know. Again.
Okay.
Solo is a risky
rebuttal
for Star Wars.
So, do you think River Phoenix did a great job of being a young Harrison Ford?
Well, no, I don't.
Because if you go back, well, I see Landon's confusion. The third Indiana Jones, River Phoenix, was young Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
No, that's a good movie.
I am way too...
Don't you do it.
Wait. The third Indiana Jones movie? Is that the one with Short Round and that shrieking harpy?
No, this is The Last Crusade.
That's Spielberg's wife. You show some respect.
No, she sucked in that movie. She was the worst. The worst.
I've actually gotten more comfortable with that movie as I've gotten older, and I don't know if it's like we talk about with most things where it's almost if you get enough of it, you're okay with it.
You just become numb to it.
Yeah, you become numb to it because there's more and more parts of that movie I really enjoy. Now, there's none of her parts I enjoy. There's more of Harrison Ford's parts I enjoy.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like that's a really good indie movie, but I just can't get past, like, every scene she's in, she turns into some like just scream box. But we're not here to talk about that movie, I don't think.
I don't know the actress that was in the first one or
Kate
Crystal Skull. Yeah. You're not going to match her.
I love Kate Capshaw.
That's what I'm saying. You're not going to match her. So, but what I'm saying, my point was, River Phoenix was trying to be a young Harrison Ford, and everybody was okay with it, from what I could tell.
Yeah, but that was before.
Even though I don't really think
everybody had to have a hot take on everything.
This is true.
Is River Phoenix who ended up playing Indy in the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles?
No, it was a different actor. I don't know what his name is because God knows I don't know names. Yeah. We'll call him John Smith.
Okay.
Um,
I didn't know if they ended up using him for that or not.
No, it was a completely different series, and I don't know who it was, but it definitely wasn't him. It actually makes me want to go watch maybe a scene or two on YouTubus just to see how that guy emulated Harrison Ford. Because I mean, really, that's what you're doing. It's not a character; it's Harrison Ford. That's who you're emulating.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it
that's true.
was Sean Patrick Flannery was the guy's name.
Patrick Flannery. Where we heard his name before?
Wasn't he in the Boondock Saints?
Holy crap!
I'll tell
Isn't
you.
that guy?
Yeah.
The
Young
not
Indiana Jones
not
is
Walking
Boondock
Dead
Saints.
one.
Yeah. And Suicide
Wow.
Kings.
The Walking Dead one. That's great. I do know his name.
Norman Reedus. Yeah.
I was gonna say
I
Ford
actually
Call.
I bought both of them a shot of Jameson at Dragon Con one year, so that's fun.
Nice.
He was actually
So you
also
thought-
in Powder. That was another notable Sean Patrick Flannery.
Yeah, let's move past that. What else you got?
So
How?
yeah, no, I think we've talked about this before though. Like
Yep.
when you have someone who defines a character, it's very, very difficult to get anybody else to kind of step into that role and be able to accept them, because you're like, that's not Hans. I mean, we've talked about before how the movies influence what the characters look like in the comics too. The comics of Han
very
Solo
so.
look like Harrison Ford. You know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it's Harrison Ford. It's like I said, it's not Han Solo. Han Solo is Harrison Ford forever.
Mhm.
That's
Very
what
so.
makes this so risky, in my opinion. That's
It is.
That said, like when you see Donald Glover as Lando, like you totally
yeah.
buy that he could end up being Billy D. Williams, though, right?
But we haven't heard him speak.
Yeah, but I mean, like it's Donald fucking Glover, man.
Oh,
It's
I mean, the
gonna-
chances of us not loving Donald Glover as Lando are
You still like-
nil. But I mean, still, we haven't heard him speak. I want to hear this deep bravado. He's gonna stream on us, and my pants just fall off. No.
Good thing this is a video from
In theater.
Shoulders up.
we call that a peewee.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
So
Oh my.
oh no.
What was that? Michael Scott being Fat Albert?
Michael Scott being Fat Albert. Yes, that's what that was.
Michael
I
Clump.
thought- Michael
Uh,
Clump, yeah.
So we're running a little bit long, but I know that there was another big piece of news that we kind of wanted to talk about today before we wrap up, and that was an update to the focus of our last broadcast. So, of course, as soon as we put an hour-long podcast out there, there's like a bombshell that drops, and that is that maybe the 20th Century Fox.
Century 21.
Yeah, the
False
Century
start,
21
flag on the fly.
I know, and I can't edit this. Disney's acquisition of 20th Century Fox maybe isn't quite as done a deal as we thought, because a player 2 has entered the game. And
No one likes Luigi.
And that is Universal. So,
Mm.
so guys, I mean, I don't know how serious that is. I don't know if it's really just, a token move by Universal, but man, what are the implications?
Comcast Universal?
What are
I
the
thought Comcast
implications?
was the one who was really pushing for it. Or at least had a bid in.
I mean, Comcast, Universal, and NBC, they're all the same thing. It's all Comcast
Yeah, they're in-
Universal.
Are they under the Comcast? Okay. I didn't know who the parent company was.
Yes,
God
Comcast
knows.
is signing them checks.
It's
Okay.
it's
Comcast.
Comcast. Okay, so I was just misspeaking. I apologize. But
Comcastic.
yeah. So I don't know what.
Red flag.
What are your thoughts like when you heard that news?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say he can't edit, so I can't give you my thoughts.
Wow, that strongly.
You know how I feel about Comcast.
I mean, like, I guess I'm okay with it, but again, I was somewhat okay with the move that was going to be happening with Disney. I mean, at the same time, it's like Comcast, Universal, NBC, whatever you want to call them, they have a lot of properties under their umbrella already, and as far as I know, I don't think there's a lot of meddling that, would really worry a fan of a franchise like the Fantastic Four or Spider-Man or something like that. I think for the most part, much like Disney, Comcast has been smart enough to get out of the way of their investments to let them make money. I could be wrong. If I am, please let me know that I'm wrong, because much like Matt, I'm not a big fan of Comcast because those a-holes have been my internet provider for way too long, and they're the only option I have. Anyway, but I mean, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. But then again, like I said, I was the guy that thought, Disney owning the Fox stuff isn't necessarily a bad thing. I do think it's interesting that Universal, Comcast, NBC, whatever, they're now looking to acquire the Fox stuff. And then we're hearing rumblings that Sony might be looking to cash out too.
I wanted to mention that in the article I read.
Wow, like that, I think is the bigger story here. Not the fact that Comcast Universal is trying to intercept Fox from Disney. It's the fact that we talked about if this deal goes down, there are 6 houses that are producing big things. It would shrink down to 5. If Sony's looking to cash out, that would take it down to 4. And then at that point, it kind of feels like this is just par for the course. That right there is like that I think is the bigger aspect of this deal.
I don't know. I feel like I'm not totally in bed with Disney like some people, but definitely you guys. But I trust
money, Bob Iger.
I trust Disney. They've shown me nothing but good movies. I mean, I haven't really seen anything bad come out of them, or at least to the point where I'm like, what's a bad movie?
3.
Well, I mean, you gotta throw your trash somewhere. But when I think of Comcast, I think of how much they are the devil and they will ruin everything. They will ruin it. Rue the day. They will ruin it. And I wanted to look up some stuff that they've been doing. Do you know that Universal had a trailer on that we didn't mention on the Super Bowl?
Oh, yeah?
Need we forget Skyscraper, guys?
Oh, yeah.
The big blockbuster that we've been waiting for.
Well, shame on me for forgetting a Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson vehicle.
He's an amputee in this one, you guys, and he has to go.
That's the only part of the movie I care about.
His family.
Part of the movie I care about. I'm like, oh, he is handicapped. Cool. That'll make it interesting because otherwise, could care less. It's right there with San Andreas.
He looks very handy capable in this movie.
I'm so glad you said San Andreas because I really thought for a second it was a sequel to a natural disaster movie and we were getting San Andreas too. It's like, this time the earthquake is coming back and it's personal. Or I thought it was I thought it was Rampage. I really thought it was Rampage for a second.
I did too.
I was going to say, do you think they filmed this one like concurrently while they were working on Rampage since they were already like in downtown?
Same set.
They were like, as soon as The Rock like cleaned up from Rampage, they're like, all right, head on over to the Skyscraper set and get that done.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Universal's got stuff I like. They've got that new Pacific Rim coming out. Yes. They've got, what's the other one I just saw? They do the Fast and the Furious series, evidently. I don't care about, their stupid 50 Shades of who gives a crap right now.
Though, to be fair, we're not the target market for that.
Not necessarily.
No. Actually, no one's the target market anymore because God knows what they're doing anymore.
That movie is going to fill up theaters full of mom butt.
Well, if you like torture porn, that's fine.
Like, nothing but mom butt. You'd think a Kelly Clarkson concert broke out.
But, they've got, like, the Jurassic series. They've got, Insidious. I like the Insidious series. They've done a good job with it, but it's just these are one-offs, and to me it doesn't say you're going to cooperate, number one, with the Marvel we already have, and number two, it looks like a money grab. Like you don't want something to happen is the only reason you jumped in here, Luigi, so jump the F off.
Well, I think they have to know that they've got to make some kind of move because like Disney is just looking to dominate the market.
Sure they are. Don't get me wrong. I understand the block. I get it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, stop.
Basically saying we're not going to go quietly into the night. This
will be our Independence Day, which is now going to be owned by Disney or Fox, somebody.
House of the Mouse is just going to sell some of that Nazi gold they got, and they're going to trump you. That was bad. I know.
And then you said they're going to trump you. Man, I am bailing out of this podcast.
Okay.
I'm sorry, guys. That was mean. That was a mean thing. I don't think. My point is, I don't think they're going to out-check the Mouse.
No,
they're not.
I don't think they will either. I think that this will close out. Maybe all it does is make Fox a little bit richer at the end of the day.
But sure, and Fox, God knows they need the money.
Yeah.
Because
Rupert Murdoch needs more $1 billion.
Well, hopefully that guy finds a timely demise. Maybe we can launch his bones into space towards Mars or something. I don't know. You know.
But I will say, if Sony is looking to cash out of their film production arm, then
Sony I want to talk about. I mean, I really want to talk about this Sony thing.
Disney might have to just reach over there and be like, hey, look, we don't want all that because we're already kind of dealing with a big acquisition. Can you just give us that little spider dude right there? Like, can we
I feel
just
like
have
the
that?
Sony deal is a swap meet deal.
Yeah.
No, I don't want all of that. Just how much for Spider-Man?
Yeah.
How much for the No, I don't want the chickens. The Spider-Man. How much for the Spider-Man?
Yeah.
I mean, that would be interesting, but I kind of feel like at that point, if it got to the point where they're okay with people coming in and just kind of cherry picking over their franchises what they want to buy, I would feel like that would just be all sorts of red bells for Fox at that point, because I would imagine, like, if I'm trying to sell off a portfolio of 100 IPs, 100 anythings, I want to sell the entire portfolio off. I don't want to sell like just I'm going to sell this one, I'm going to sell this one, I'm going to sell this one. All right, I made all this money, but I'm still left with like 40 things that I don't give a damn about.
Yeah. No, it's going to be an all-in-one deal, I'm sure. I'm just making a little wish over here on my.
Oh, I know. And
that would be.
Here's the thing, though. Here's what I don't like about the whole Sony deal. It would be great for them to get Spider-Man under the umbrella, which would bring Venom and all the other ones under that same umbrella. You know they're going to get hit with the securities and monopoly thing. You know they're going to get hit if they buy buy Sony. It's going to be bad.
No, they're not going to be. They're not going to be doing that.
Yeah, and
I don't think
I
don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
I honestly think the monopoly laws and the antitrust laws are going to eventually, even if Fox did want to sell to NBC, Universal, Comcast, whatever you want to call them, I think those antitrust laws is going to eventually blocks this deal if it was to move to that point, which I think plays to Disney's advantage, and also the fact that Disney has all the money in the world plays to Disney's advantage.
It does. There was an announcement today, and I want to mention this just really quick because we've been talking about Disney streaming service. Apparently, some of the structure has been kind of unveiled a little bit. So
really,
it's launching in fall of 2019. It's going to start domestic, and it will have no R-rated content. So we actually predicted this last week. So I want to give us some credit for that because essentially
we didn't even need Madden.
Everything on the streaming service on their Disney branded streaming service is going to look like a Disney product is basically what this article was saying.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I had read some stuff, and is this the same thing I read where it's like they'll have add-ons, like you can buy additional content add-ons?
I didn't see that, but they did say that they plan for 5 original movies and I think 10 series for the first year.
So, wow, that's pretty. Wow, in their first year, they're saying they're going to have 5 original movies and 10 series.
I think that's what it said. Yeah.
Wow, that is pretty vast in scale, especially with them coming out of the gate. And it's like, it's not super surprising that they're not going to have R-rated content on their streaming services. That said, it's a little aggravating to me as the consumer because I want all of my content under one umbrella. Like, I want to be able to open one app and be able to watch everything. I don't want to have to bounce around from app to app. Like if I want to go from watching the Avengers Assemble animated series on Disney, and then hey, I want to go watch Deadpool. I don't want to have to, close out of that and go load up Disney Max or whatever they're going to call it for content.
You just need to get Pirate Bay.
Well, that feels what the feds like to call illegal.
It's only illegal if you think you're doing wrong. I read that somewhere.
Or you get caught. One of the two. I don't know.
One of the two. They have to prove it, too. So God knows in our court system it's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the burden of proof is on the accuser. God bless America.
That's right. Unless you're famous and you've already been proven guilty by social media.
or you're an elected official and then nothing happens to you.
No. We don't touch elected officials. They're sacred.
No, the elected officials touch us. Bazinga!
Oh, in the bathroom under the stall, little foot rub. So,
okay. Enough of that.
That's what I said too, but he didn't stop.
At least I threw.
I'll let myself out.
Well, I think it's time we all let ourselves out, or I'm going to get kicked out on the street. So I'm going to let you guys do your plugs today. I'm not going to take them away from
thank God, because it went so well last time.
I know. Do it.
Yeah, I think you plugged me as London Dune, part of the BMC CNC factory. I don't even know what the hell that is.
It's the reboot of the Dune series, Landon Dune.
Twitter.com/Landoz, LANDOZ. That's where you can find the latest from me, 280 characters at a time. I also run a website, Butt Munch Chips, buttmunchchips.com. Fuck, I messed up my tag.
Come on.
Whatever.
Butt
Butt Munch Chips.
Sit on your butt.
Hey, Munch.
There we go. It's like riding a bicycle, but it's a virtual bicycle that I pay the yearly website hosting fee on, and I encourage you to head over there. That's where you can find the exclusively posted Game of Thrones talk, aka Got Talk. It's where myself and Hunter Reese break down each episode of Season 7 of HBO's award-winning series Game of Thrones. We do have a comeback date for Game of Thrones. Unfortunately, it's April 19th of 2019, so God knows who's going to be alive by the time that comes out. So it'll probably be like Hunter and like a Google bot recording it by the time it comes out. So look forward to that. In the meantime, we have the Butt Munch Chips Variety Pack, which is where myself and, again, Hunter Reese talk about a variety of things. The most recent episode was our breakdown of Thor Ragnarok, the Justice League, and 2017 and the year that was in comic book movies. And I'm out of breath, so go.
I do a little thing called Tracking Track Podcast with Thomas, and hopefully you guys are still watching Star Trek Discovery, because we still are. If you're interested in it, we review all the episodes. You can join us and listen to our antics about what we don't understand, which is mostly the entire show. If you want to hang in there and join us on the mission, you can. You can hit us up at Trekking Trek Pod on Twitter, and we are everywhere, so look for us because we're watching you.
And I am currently broadcasting live on the Nerd News Cafe Twitter account. And if you want to see live streams like this and see all of our digital content, things that we like, things that we share, comments that we make throughout the week, I invite you to take your finger for a scroll. Nailed it! And visit our Nerd News Cafe Twitter account. That's at nerd_news_cafe.
Are you sure you said it right?
I think I did.
Are you sure?
I think so. We are also on the Facebook. We got a Facebook fan page. We have a website, nerdnewscafe.com. You can email us, nerdnewscafe@gmail.com. There I am in the bottom corner right there. Look at that. That's the face that's sending all these golden tones over the airwaves tonight. But yeah, you can get to us in a lot of different ways. So do it. We like to keep the conversation going throughout the week. Hi, Mom. Send money.
Yes, please, God. Beer ain't gonna buy itself.
Yeah, those ramen noodles are running low.
Oh, you know what's really funny is I didn't hit the go live button, so I'm going to do it right now.
Yeah, I was curious. I was looking at our feed. It's like, where the hell is this thing? Am I missing it?
Here it is. We went live. We finally did it. We did it. We finally made it.
We did it. We're winning. We're winning.
But that's right, ladies and gentlemen. We have been recording live tonight, and this is just a little teaser because in the future, you may well be able to watch Nerd News Cafe live. Yes, they
Hey, I
will,
see
Matt.
me on my phone.
Hey, look.
Look at me. Look at this. We're all cool.
Look at that pointy-headed girl.
I think at the end of the day, the message that you need to receive is you need to be plugged into our social media.
Just the tip.
We're
All right,
oh my God. But we're doing all kinds of fun stuff out here. We're keeping it technological. We're technologically savvy gentlemen. Wouldn't you say? No. Matt disagrees.
Oh, no.
They probably can't hear you all. The funny thing is they're hearing me because, my phone's only picking up my mic. But
Yeah, I was going to say all of my hilarious takes are not picking up on our Twitter live stream. What's up with that?
But they get to see your pretty faces.
That is true, and that's their win.
But here's the
Living
cool thing.
the dream.
Now they get to see us do our outro live. So, I mean, at this point, I don't have anything else to say. I think Landon's frozen in time.
No, I'm not. I was just seeing how long it's going to take you guys.
Join us.
See, this is what you're missing out. You got to join us live. We have video aspect now, y'all.
That's right.
You got to join us
Like,
live.
who knows
Taylor.
when I'm going to take my clothes off? It's going to be in the next 3 episodes, so be watching.
Down.
Oh,
It's what we call
Don't
a
encourage
tease
this
or a
behavior.
threat, depending on who you are.
it's one of the two. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for listening. Join us next time, and we will see you on Mars.
Yeah, with my car.
Scumcast in transmission.